everybody, and welcome back to the channel and our Northumbrian campaign on Medieval Total War Viking Invasion. And I noticed something interesting here, just starting up the campaign, taking a look at our king, not our king, but the Irish king, Brian I, who has been the target of some waves of assassination on our part. He's got a lot of dread here, and we can start to see why. He has a killer instinct. That's just a trait that, any family member can get. It's one of those random traits that gets assigned as you come of age. But mass murderer is not. As far as I'm aware, this is not one that you're just going to get out of the gate. It has become widely known that he believes all men with bald heads and brown beards to be assassins, and has tortured and executed many men of that appearance, possibly unjustly. +4 dread, -5 piety. So this is a result, I'm quite sure, of our sending, I think, something like 10 assassins after him over the course of a few years. This is the only king and currently of age family member of the Irish royal family, and there's a slight chance that we might inherit some of their land if the family is executed. So that has been the goal, sort of in keeping with playing Northumbria as kind of a nasty political faction, which seems somewhat historical based on what we know of the period. That's sort of what we've committed ourselves to here, and mass murderer. Now this is actually a kind of a good trait, unless it has the chance to develop into something worse, and maybe it will, like with a bunch of penalties to acumen or command. But a -5 piety, who cares? It's really not going to be that much of an impact, as far as I can tell, on this campaign. Piety, from what I understand, and this is only from what I can tell based on reading in-game stuff, or maybe a little bit in the manuals, and people in the forums over the years have really, as far as I'm aware, not given any great evidence to support this. But it seems to be the case that piety affects the loyalty of the population. It says here how much support a religious population will offer this man. So if we look at Connacht, for example, it's got 100% Catholicism. So theoretically, if he had a lot of piety, this place would be very high loyalty. Now, it's already very high in loyalty. Loyalty here is 200%. And that's because we've got some happiness buildings. You've got the Catholic chapel, which affects population loyalty, I believe. The Abbey, I believe, does that as well. Again, I'm just basing this on the descriptions in the text. You've got border forts, which also affect happiness. You've got an inn, which I think affects happiness. It says cheers up the locals. And then you've got the keeps, and so the any of the castle tier of buildings are going to increase public order as well. So you've got all of these, plus you've got a relatively large couple of armies in here. Maybe he's got spies as well. You're not really having trouble with public order, despite his 0 or even maybe negative levels of piety. So again, I just don't see it having that much of an impact. Maybe there are some corner cases where, like, no, this is very happy as well. I mean, if he were to conquer, like pagan lands, let's say, no, that doesn't make sense, because then the population would be more likely to not care about his piety. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it has much of an impact. So the question is, do we want to keep going right now? We've got our new king, brand new king, King Elfwald I, who I'm going to assume is half Irish, based on what I remember of the last time we had a princess. But I'm not totally sure about that. And so maybe what we can do is shore up our dynasty a little bit and try to get him a wife. He is 21, so he's got plenty of time. But if we act soon, we may be able to get him a wife before he just grabs one from the royal courts on his own. So let's just see. There's some princesses here who are standing up. They've got this sort of standing animation, which suggests that they are going to be moving somewhere and maybe have a mission. But none of these do, and none of these do. Okay, so they're just moving around the map. Now we do have an emissary somewhere. Let's see. Here we go. He's in Reggit. Okay. So we're already allied with the Picts, but they do have, a princess, a couple of princesses. This one is 15. We're already allied with the Mercians. Theoretically, we could grab a princess from there. I don't see any other Irish princesses. But this is why it'll be good once we get our church built in Dalriada, which is only going to be a couple more turns. We will get a bunch of bishops, and we will have them just around the map, just stationed around the map to get more visibility. So there may be some Saxon princesses. Let's see. I actually know those were ours we saw in Ireland. Okay, so let's go for the Picts. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try her. I don't know how old she is, but we'll at least get an emissary up there to see, and the side effect of that will be he will also be able to see what's in Kate in terms of military. But yeah, the last episode, we made some good gains. We not only captured Dalriada completely, we captured Ski completely, and managed to stop the war with the Scots. So we're now not at war with anybody, and we've got lots of allies. So this is all going pretty well. I think what we need to think about is our very unfortunate dynasty, right? Like, we've got this big problem here where our kings are just low command nobodies with relatively low influence. And so far, the loyalty of the generals is okay, but it's not ideal. And I'm very concerned that we're going to get some high command, high dread, low loyalty governors or generals who are going to take over and start causing problems. We've already seen some of our generals that we train, like these woodsmen, for example, who were trained, I think, last year or the year before, have zero loyalty. So this means that if we are in a pinch and we need to suddenly train some huscarls or some like elite higher level troops, we may find ourselves in a pickle, because the way this game works is, in my experience anyway, you're more likely to get high command units out of the elite units. So we haven't had any command stars on any of like the woodsmen that we've trained, right? Or even really the fearedmen. We've only had command stars on the huscarls. This guy came with 2. Right? I think this guy came with 2. King of Strathclyde gives him another 2. This guy came with 1. So all of these sort of elite units are going to get command stars. Now the problem with that, I mean, that's really nice, but the problem is these also tend to be the lower loyalty units, because I guess presumably they are the elites, right? They feel like they can push their weight around a little bit. And because they have higher command than a lot of other units, you can't put them under like a more loyal guy like this who has a lot of loyalty but no command, right? He will take over that stack. So you've got to find someone with better command and better loyalty. And that gets increasingly hard to do once you start losing battles and losing territory. And when you've got a low influence king. So this is all very, very precarious, actually. It seems like we're doing great, but this game can flip things around very fast. So we need to think of how to handle that, and like where we're going to put this guy. He does have secret pride, which is giving him +3 valor, even though that's not being shown here. It will on the battlefield. He's got natural leader, so that's good for morale. The pride is hurting his command, unfortunately. This would be 2 command if it wasn't for that secret pride trait. But do we want to use him in combat? Do we want to move him down to a front? Where are we going to go next? I guess that's the other question. We could start capturing places in Wales. You know, these are rebel territories. We are allied with the Welsh. We could see what is the most likely to get. So what would make sense here? Defet. Because we could get there now, right? Like we could, as you can see, this is a valid target. Okay, so Defet has gold. It's making a little bit of money. It's actually making a decent amount of money despite having almost no infrastructure. It does at least have the forest clearing, which, as we've already seen, has a lot of upfront investment in terms of time and money. But once this is built, unlike most other buildings in Medieval Total War, this cannot be destroyed. So we can't take down a forest clearing. I don't know if we have any on our map currently, no. But forest clearings are, okay, we do. We have one in Bjornis. So this is making us 195 right now. That's nice. That's never going to go away. If the Vikings take it, if they burned every building to the ground, this would remain. So that's a good starting point. It also has gold resource, as we've said. It's got a little bit of rebellion. Our spy has been in here racking up the Valor Stars to make sure everyone else stays out. We've got very low loyalty, potentially bribable rebel units down here. So if we time it right, we can get an army down to Reget from Ski, like potentially. We could, we're training another boat it's going to appear in the Irish Sea in 2 years, and we get one more up here, and then we have a chain of boats from Ski, which already has a port built. They could go all the way down to Defet in a single turn. So maybe that's what we ought to do. Start claiming some of this land before the Irish get in on it. In contrast to that, we've got Gwynedd, which is making about half as much money. Does not have gold, does have copper, which is quite a bit less lucrative, and also has 0 infrastructure, but at least it does have a forest clearing. This has a much smaller army. It does have some landsmen. This is almost a full unit. Moral flexibility is nice. So, if we get the king, getting the king down there actually would be a horrible idea because we're separate from the rest of our land. But if we get a loyal, good governor, like Edulf, for example, he's got 4 command stars, and if we find a good governorship, like not Ski, but someplace which gives more than one loyalty, let's see. Are you the governor? Yes, you're the Prince of Gwynedd. What does this give? Just 1 loyalty, but also 1 acumen, so that's nice. You are probably the Prince of Defet. Yes, this gives 1 loyalty, 1 piety, 1 dread, 1 command. So these are kind of nice. Kind of nice lordships. Really, this is the guy to bring down. This is the most reliable general that I have. And this is so that his title is giving him 1 command. He would be 4 stars normally. All right. Well, we'll definitely think about it. Let's train another emissary. Let's train another couple. We'll want a few kicking around. And yeah, I guess we will hold off on building. We're building pretty much everywhere else, so we just need to wait for that stuff to kick off. And maybe events will force our hand in another direction, right? Okay, we've killed an enemy spy. Good. Watchtowers in Ski. Alright, famine in Cumbria. It's not a big deal. This is not making us a lot of money anyway. But when famine happens, you do have to remember it decreases the loyalty of the province. So you want to make sure your taxes reflect that new reality. Okay, now the princess is moving around, right? He's going after Erskina. Yeah. As soon as they detect an emissary is coming, they start to walk away. Like they're creeped out by them or something. So okay, so he'll be on tour. That's fine. I'll just let him do that for a while. And I am happy to say that the issues I was experiencing in the last episode with the lag have apparently resolved themselves. So that's good. Okay, and I guess spies are fine. Let's I think what we were going to do here is build this and then maybe go for the port and then invest in a fort before getting up to the next level of assassin, because that's going to require that next level of building. So in other words, it'll be a little while before we get a port, but on the other hand, we are going to have one right here. All right, do we want to try it again? It's going to be a while before we get... Yeah, before we get more emissaries in play. So let's try this again. 17, that's good. Is that a 3-star? No, these are 1-star. So, not sure it's going to work. He doesn't have any traits that help him against assassins, but he does have border forts. So these guys just may not get through at all. All right. Training more emissaries there. Now, Bernicia, let's go ahead and build a trader, since we're not really building anything else there at the moment. And Kyle, I also feel like we've got to really defend better than we have been, just because it's so productive in terms of agriculture. It's got 40% farmland. That's amazing for this map, and the Scots built it for us, so we may as well show our appreciation. Yeah, up here the Scots... okay, they can get mercenaries theoretically. And Kate does have an abbey. Moray has an inn, but nothing else, really. And they're not going to get their Highlanders. For some reason, they're not training the Highland troops. Which is kind of crazy, because they are basically just a Highland faction at the moment. Okay, so for ski... yeah, let's go with that. And that's going to be enough in terms of profits for us. Alright, Mercians, once again, most advanced. Assassin caught and killed. Assassin caught and killed. Assassin caught and killed. Alright. We are now able to train 2-star assassins, though. Alright, regretfully declined. At least we got an answer. Alright, now where is he? Okay, he's back up here. Let's try for the Mercians. You know, we'll try for her. She's got nothing else going on. She's just sitting around. She's 29. A couple of years, she'll age out. Let's see if he's got any new traits. Nope, nothing new. But he's 47. Still no sons. I mean, the family may just die out anyway. Some of my princesses are getting up there in age as well. She's got some valor, which is from arranging an alliance or a ceasefire with the Scots, I believe. And interestingly, the Irish are training some of their units, their unique units. Banachs, this is a unit that is unique to the Viking campaign, and indeed unique to the Irish faction entirely. It is interesting that, you know, this game they did put in some effort. They could have just given the Irish, you know, like one javelin unit, which could have been a reskin or a I mean, there's not really models in this, but you know what I mean. It could have been essentially like using the same art as the Slav javelin men, because they also made that unit, I think, for Viking invasion, but for the Europe map. They could have just called that Irish javelins and, you know, been done with it. But no, they made a lot of different types. Kerns are from the base map, but then they added these Irish dart men, which is a cool little vest-wearing tough guy. And I just like the descriptions of these. Darts are a weapon of great antiquity in Ireland, used by the heroes of the epic tales as well as lesser warriors. It's just cool. And then we have the Banach description. Since the time of the great hero tales, the spear has been the preferred secondary weapon of the Irish warrior. Great. And this is actually a really nice unit. Excellent attack. Missiles very good versus armor. The Kerns are also very good versus armor. The Dartmen are not, but they at least have better range, I think. They can throw farther, possibly. Maybe I'm wrong there. But they are very cheap, 15 support costs. Kerns are also, I mean, all these units are just so cheap. Gallow glasses they get as well. This was also in the base game. But anyway, the Irish get some cool stuff, and they're training it, so they may move on this stuff. Still no war between the Saxons and the Mercians. And the Vikings, I think the Vikings are basically done for. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff. And I don't know if they have a ship here. I'm not sure if my bishop is able to tell me. But look at this. Okay, we've got 25% Catholicism here. And the loyalty is decreasing because we've got a spy and we're gradually converting the population. This is just a 1-star spy, but I'm just going to leave him to do that. And maybe once we get the bishop going, here we go. Let's start that right now. We'll get a bunch of these bishops here, and we'll send them over to help out in Hordaland and also Jutland. And we'll just see if we can just neuter the Vikings. Right here. So that emissary is on a trip. Let's now see about the cost of some of these rebels. If we try to bribe you in Defet, that's going to be a lot. 3750. Okay. And what about you in Gwynedd? 1729. That's very reasonable. Now, practically, I think these are essentially equidistant from my holdings in the sense that they can both be reached from sea. The only thing I'm not sure about is where the port is going to come out on Defet. I think it's going to come out in the Irish Sea rather than in the Severn mouth. But I'm not 100%. So this could be slightly farther away anyway. So maybe we want to go with this. This would be easier to bribe. I would like to get some landsmen. I can't make them myself. This guy already has moral flexibility. So maybe we bribe them and maybe we start moving our troops over there to take over. I will want a princess handy, right, to make him more loyal, and I will possibly also want like a governor, like someone to. Again, we're not going to move the king. But we do have some of these loyal guys. Well, what would happen if we were to move Cuthbert down? He's got some feared, which we should probably bring down anyway to retrain. He got some armored spearmen, but so does this guy. Let's go for it. And because Lord Alfred is the Earl of Deira, he is, as long as we don't have anybody with a command star, he's going to be in charge of the stack. So we can send up some good stuff. Let's bring you down. Oh shoot! I think I merged them accidentally. Well, regardless, it doesn't matter so much in this game. So the reason I'm kind of so hesitant about this is in Rome Total War, if I were to like take this unit and merge it in with here, that would be a tragedy in my view. Because what would happen is, in Rome Total War, you can retrain units, and it takes no turns. What that functionally means is you can retrain up to 9 units, as many as can fit in the recruitment queue, right? So you could just queue up as many units as you can for retraining, and they'll all be done in a single turn. And you can even make one of those queue slots filled with like a unit that you're training from scratch, and then that plus all the other retraining units will be done. So if you want to get a lot of units fast, the best thing is to have a lot of tiny units, like units with 3 or 4 guys in each unit, and then bring it back to a place where you can retrain them all, train another unit, and then boom, you get half a stack all of a sudden, within a single turn. Medieval Total War, it doesn't work like that. I'm forgetting. So this is going to take me a full turn, right? Retraining this unit of feared men. Retraining this unit of feared men takes me a full turn. So you really only want to retrain when your guys are just about done, because otherwise, why would you bother retraining? Now this guy's kind of nice, +2 valor, -2 acumen. So even if I retrain him, he's going to keep that trait. So he would be an excellent unit to get retrained. So anyway, that's the thought process there. Let's bring up, we've got plenty of archers here. We got 2, but I think that's enough. Let's train some feared men from Bernicia, and let's see how loyal they are. And now we can go for our ship, or our port rather, in Deira. Okay, Mercian leader is dead. Saxons are mobilizing again, theoretically. I wonder what they're trying to get. Like the Mercians keep moving these 2 stacks between Lindisi and East Angle. And it may be that this is what the Saxons think is weak, but then the Mercians keep reinforcing it. Okay, we're going to lose line of sight there. This is a good time to get bishops out. Okay, Lord Edward is devout. That's fine. And Elfward, secret adultery. Okay. Let's see. How's his loyalty? That's the more important question. It's not very good. That is unfortunate. Ooh, but it's better than him. Well, he'll go up because he's going to be able to fit under the lordship of Alfred, so it'll be fine. All right, and you guys just keep moving down. Man, we've got lots of princesses here. This is good because we may need them to shore up loyalty. All right, let's get our emissary over here. Get our other emissary over here. And yes, you're moving down. Okay, Del Riata. Ski has a port. Let's go with a boat builder, I suppose. Should we invest in that now, though? Now that Ski is kind of vulnerable. I mean, I think the thing we should do is a fortified village. We're going to want that anyway. And then we can get a trader. Okay, we do have a boat. 2 more years for a slipway. But I don't want to wait. Let's get another ship out. No command on either of these guys yet. But if we get down here, we will get 2 ports to trade with. And I think that's going to be the best move. It'll also let us see all of these provinces: Gwent, Somerset, Devon, and Cornwall. So that'll be really nice to keep an eye on the disposition of troops in the south. Border forts. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Okay, so we've got the Saxons looking for a marriage. We are not allied with them. So what we want to do, I think, is get our emissaries down there and see where the girls are at. If we can find us a Saxon princess and we refuse the hand or the offer coming from the Saxon king, then we can get our king married. He's currently unmarried, so we need to find a princess pretty fast. But we do have an emissary who's on the job currently, so maybe we should cancel that. Let's get him down to Sussex, because it would be better to get a Saxon bride, I think. All right, still at 25%. Still no pagan buildings here. No shrines or anything. And yeah, loyalty 115. So loyalty is going up a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, Bernicia, we built the trader. This is currently making us 67. And so I guess we want to go with a port. Start investing that money. So here, yep, we've got our port. So this is doing trading for us. It's only making 65. But lumber is not that great. And that'll go up because we're going to be trading down here in Somerset. Okay, so we're building another ship. We are, let's see, Pexeton. Do I want to go with boat builders? I think I may as well. This seems like a safe place to build ships. For the moment. Okay, keep an eye out for Saxon princesses. Kyle. No, we're going to turn that down. King Elfald I is a builder. That's nice. +1 happiness everywhere. Lord Alfred, ooh, chinless wonder. Well, he's still loyal, so that's fine. Man of principle, that's good. It also, I wonder if that means he was attempted to be bribed. Honest, that's good. Okay. Actually, that's really good. +1 loyalty. And Ozulf is a fast talker. Okay, great. Let's see. He may be suitable for a governorship here. All right, but I'm not seeing any Saxon princesses. That's my Catholic bishop. The problem is the Northumbrian and the Saxons' colors look very similar, so it is hard to tell. Okay, let's go over here. We got our bishop coming down here. I kind of think if there was a Saxon princess, she might be out on the map elsewhere. All right, you're not going anywhere. Let's get you down to Wessex. And then, yes, we will eventually work on that, that whole conversion plan. But I'm not going to bother with that right now. This king is getting up there. I feel like we're losing our window of opportunity for being able to kill him. But let's give it another couple years of assassins. Let's see, we've got 2 years for this, so we'll do one more assassin, and then we'll see what else we can build. All right, moving you guys through, just going through Clyde. And you are heading down. Now, what can we build here? We can't retrain Feardman. But Red Wolf is looking very, very respectable. So we bring him down into, like, I think Cumbria was the place I was planning to build Feardman, because it will have iron. Although it doesn't right now, but it will eventually. So we'll get that queued up. We'll get him down here and just train him up as fast as we can. Actually, we should probably bring him to Elmet and retrain him there. Let's already get the infrastructure. Okay, so Kyle now has the fortified village. Is there anything else we want to do here? A port doesn't make sense because it doesn't, it doesn't have any trade buildings. Theoretically, we could invest 750 in the port and then a bunch more in shipbuilding, right? Because we're probably not going to be training a lot out of here. May as well crank that up. This could be another agent province, though, right? Because we're sort of fighting for agents in Dira. Like, do we want to go with, with assassins versus spies? So we could have a couple places. Let's go with a brothel in Kyle. I think we'll do that. And there's lots of mercenaries available in Lothian. We've even got some Viking Raider Cav, and I always loved this depiction of them. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else unique. The mounted nobles sadly look exactly the same as the royal bodyguard. But at least it is somewhat new art. You won't find this in the base game. But I don't think there's anything we really want to train right now. We're not planning a major invasion. What we're planning is a bribery and then reinforcing that with some other troops. But let's get a princess down. Let's bring her down into Clyde and then over to Gwynedd, just so we'll see. Maybe she'll be able to marry this guy. Or actually, we should do it with her. But she may age out anyway, so we'll bring 2 just as insurance. And then, well, we're just gonna keep cranking bishops out. That's all there is to it. We need a lot of line of sight. Oh, and we can get a cathedral here. Very nice. So I believe this is a building that you can only build once. I may be wrong about that, but I think you can only have 1 cathedral in your campaign. So this will give us a little bit of money. It costs 1,000 florins and it takes 16 years to build. So, I never build cathedrals. But it does have a big morale bonus. So, like, if we were to get to a point where we've got nothing else to do, this would be nice. The church is good for that too. So I mean, I've got to remember the religious buildings do have a function in this game. Okay, so we're building there. We've neglected Fib for a little while. Let's go for a trader here. All right, Ethelbert became a spinster. I don't know which one she was. All right, Slipway and Reggit. So this is going to give us our tier 2 boats and a famine. Very unfortunate. Ozulf, secret perversion. Well, he's very pious at least, so that'll balance that out if that ever becomes revealed. And Sybarite for Harmon. That's not good, but I don't think he's anybody of importance now. He's just there to shore up the province. Okay, so you're going to come down to Elmet or wherever. Maybe I'll just train you in Cumbria. And you guys are now here to move into Gwynedd, assuming the bribery doesn't work. So we're going to send you right over. 1729. We're going to take a break from building this year. We are still training assassins. And we're finishing up building a boat, and we're training a bishop. So that's only 300 that we're spending total. And, yeah, we did lose that other princess. Let's bring you over. You're 28. We probably don't need you over here. And we'll swap you over there because the 28-year-old is not going to retire anytime soon. Still no princes. He's now 50. He's a builder, at least. Okay. And Kent. Any princesses among the Saxons? I don't think they have any. They've got lots of Saxon Huscarls. Quite a lot. All right, that's our bishop in Dorset. We could try for an alliance. I think they would go for it because they want to marry our princess, right? We're currently neutral to them. We do share a sea border with them now. We've got a boat. They've got a boat. Well, we're going to leave that there, and I think that's it. I think that'll be fine. We just need to see what's up with the bribery and with the Saxons. Okay, Mercians are the strongest. Good. No ships, but there will be ships here not too far in the future. All right, the picked leader has died. And there's... Oh, there looks like there's a succession crisis. Whoa. All right, a little bit of a civil war here. All right, bribe is accepted. No fuss, no muss. All right, we get a lot of buildings completed, and we still get a decent amount of treasury. Awesome. Okay, so some interesting stuff here. Now that we can see, you know, I guess I didn't appreciate this in the last turn, but the Welsh king is down in Cornwall. This often happens. I'm not sure why, but presumably it's because I just honestly I just don't know, because the Powys should be the most built-up province owned by the Welsh initially, and it is, right? It's so I don't know why he would go down to Cornwall. Maybe that's where the heir is, but when he's crowned, surely he should come back up to Powys, right? Regardless, they have built this up quite a bit, so maybe that's what the game is thinking about. They do have quite a few agent buildings here, and the Saxons, in contrast, well, we can't see what the Saxons are building because we don't have an agent here, but also their ships are sort of preventing us from seeing, I think. So we could see what's in here. We don't have an agent, but we can see in Powys because we've got a ship and they don't have a ship. Here, we can see deafness just in a very vague way. I can't see details of like the buildings that they have that would normally show up here. I can't see details of the army, and that's because the Saxon boat is preventing. Now, we do have some Vikings crowding us around the Irish Sea. It doesn't do us any good to get a ship up there right now, so I think I'm going to leave these together. It'll be just a little bit of insurance. And what we're going to queue up is a longboat. So these are our boats. So cost 15 per turn, attack 1, defense 0, speed of 2. And our longboats cost us the same, attack 1, defense 1, speed of 2. So it's just a very little bit better. It costs the same in upkeep, but costs more in upfront costs. Okay, so let's see loyalty here. I think we need to wait a turn, but we'll get the princess over here at least. We'll be ready with titles, we'll be ready with a princess, and hopefully he won't immediately rebel. But we do have a port, so I could, if things looked really bad, I could send this guy right over right now. I don't think I'm going to do that. Actually, no, I can't, because we don't have a ship line. This is very frustrating. Alright, I could move him over here. Why don't I do that? Oh, that's not good, though. No, never mind. Alright, let's just retrain... no, let's bring you over to Elmet. We'll get you retrained with some iron upgrades. And we will work on the iron upgrades in Cumbria, but let's go with a cheapo morale bonus for now. We're going to get Fearedmen out of here, I guess, so we may as well increase their morale. Our king is still unmarried, and I still see no princesses of the Saxons. So we could try for a Mercian princess. They have not refused us yet, I don't think. The Picts have. All right, let's get somebody up here and somebody up here, because I want to see how the Pictish Civil War is going. We've got, oh, the Berserkers rebelled. That's interesting. I would love to watch this battle. But, I mean, they could rebel too. This is why I'd love to get the hand of one of their princesses so we could grab some of that land. Let's go up here and try it again. Because their faction is, like, on the verge of being eliminated. So let's try that. Let's try getting some of our emissaries into the interior where we can't really see what's going on. Oh, that's a Saxon emissary, actually. All right. So I know you're in Kent. We'll go up there. All right, we probably don't need the princess here because we can see thanks to our ship. So let's move her down to Sussex. And then I promise we will get bishops over here to Hordaland. We are gradually working it up still, 28%. Doesn't look like they're training anything, but they're moving their boats around in a threatening manner. Okay, so Bernice is going to have a port built very soon. So Deira, geez, do I want to go for shipbuilding here? You know, ships and agents, let's go with another bunch of assassins, and then go with a boat builder. And then we'll go with a fort, and then we'll get our tier 3 assassins. You know, it's just going to take a little bit longer to do. Okay, did I build something and forget it? I don't think so. So I can move these guys down right now. I think I will. And that'll just help the loyalty, I guess. Oh, that's right. I did have a Feardman who was very disloyal, who I've been forgetting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move him up there. He's going to make his way. And I think he's going to go to Kyle or Fib and then Dalriad and then up. It'll be pretty intuitive. Let's hope he doesn't start a civil war on the way. Okay, we've conquered the province. General dies of old age. Heir matures. All right, we've got our first and only heir. Couple of ports. Oh, shoot. All right. So we missed out on the diplomatic marriage possibility. Lord Alfred, number of toes. Okay. Prince Anred, irritable. That's not bad. He also has 2 command, so that's better than the current king. So +1 dread. That's very fitting for this royal family. Lord Edward is a builder. Very nice. Let's check the loyalty. Ooh, Highland coach cock. Charitable moral flexibility. He technically doesn't have any negative loyalty traits. This should give him 2. If we give him the title of Gwynedd, that would give him 1. If we give him Pexetin, that would give him 1 and a 4th command star, which feels very risky. So let's take him away. But yeah, let's do that. He doesn't have good acumen. But we'll get the princess married to him. That'll give him another couple of shields. And then, you know, maybe I will work on some of these higher tier buildings like the Royal Hall. We can give some of these titles to some of these low loyalty generals. And we're making enough to do it, right? All right, so no princesses. I'm just going to leave my emissaries around. But yeah, you're still not making any sons unless I missed it. We do have an Irish princess here. So let's continue the tradition. All right, we're trying a princess of the Picts. See, I think I will allow that to remain. Okay, let's get you, because you are you're right there. We'll try you. Mary, Princess Deirdre. Now this is our current prince. Okay, he's looking good. Irritable, but he's got 5 loyalty. So that's very nice. And yeah, we can actually skip over Kyle entirely. So that was a good move. They actually were going to take the sea. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They could have gone there, and then you'd be their next turn anyway. But we'll move you up to Dalriada regardless. I guess it would be... That is the one circumstance in which it is useful to have a boat here. Because we can at least get people to the province of Ski from elsewhere. So, you know, eventually we'll get that. But yeah, Bernicia, let's go with the Royal Hall. If we're making a shipbuilder in here, we won't need a shipbuilder here. We've got the infrastructure we need. We just need to crank out a couple of boats out of Deira, and then we'll be trading down here. And this will actually be very nice. 2 ships, 2 ports, but also visibility on East Anglia. All right. And yeah, I think Prince Anred, what do I do with you? Let's bring you over here. Like, maybe we can move you, I don't know, into Elmet or something, or Bernicia. Not really sure. Maybe he can help shore up the south. Mercian's richest. Geez, when they go to war. All right, awesome. We get another Irish princess. Alan Cock has wed your daughter. And we've got a daughter. All right, so the current crown prince is, once again, not the son of the current king. He's a nephew or a cousin or something. So he now has an Irish wife. I've got to remember that. If he takes over the throne, as seems very likely, Prince Anred is going to be married to an Irish queen. And now they do have an heir, Prince Cormac. All right, and just in the nick of time as well. It's usually the way it goes. Well, let's throw a bunch of assassins at him, because I think he might be an easier target than the king. Yeah, 34. Let's see, 34. Guess we can send you as well. It's all of the assassins that we have. All right, you're not queued up yet. That's 5. 6. 7, and let's see, can we get one more? 8. All right, let's just check that. Any more assassins? No, I think we got them all accounted for. And, you know, we'll see. We'll see if that works. If that does, you know, who knows? There could be another prince right behind him. But King Brian's 53. So, you know, that might be the way to do it. Okay, you are going up here. You're going to get under the wing of Lord Alfred. Okay, and we've got our eyes on the Pictish provinces. So Orkney is also up for grabs. Very interesting. He's a survivor, having survived an assassination attempt by killing the assassin with a cooking spit. He's very keen to practice combat with a wide variety of weapons and kitchen implements to the detriment of his other duties. +1 valor, -1 acumen. This is a great trait. I love this one. This might be my favorite trait in the game. Just a little story there, a nice little explanation for the effects of the trait, and it's great because this could be really good for a commander, right? Or for a just a unit that you're going to fight with, but who's not going to be a governor. Or it could be horrible for a governor who you really count on their acumen, right? But on the other hand, you got to think, all right, if he's a very high acumen governor. Maybe losing 1 quill of acumen is worth it if he survived the assassination attempt. So I just love this trait. There's not too many traits like this that could be really good or really bad, right? Depending on how things work. Okay, so this is another option now. We could get ships up here and just grab that relatively easily. Since I'm thinking about that, let's go ahead and build a trader in Ski. We will get a trader, and then we will be able to trade the salt fish that we produced there with Domon and Kate eventually. And Orcades, if we grab that, we'll be able to get whalebone. I don't think the Picts are in a position to take this. I don't think the Vikings are, and I don't think the Vikings can do anything because, okay, check this out. We've got a Viking ship here that we can see. Why can we? Okay, maybe we can see it because it borders our province. Yeah, that's probably why. I got excited because I thought this was the reason we could see the ship. If you can see a ship due to an agent that's in an adjacent province to the ship, then this should tell us that there's no ships, and this should tell us that there's no ships, right? But I guess that's not the case. So you have to own the land. Okay. Rel, then. Let's, do we want to take you out? One more year, we will have... let's queue up another boat. Let's send you to the north. And then we'll actually be ready to send you to someone else to the north immediately, and we'll hook up ski with everything. And then we've got another ship coming out of here. And let's see how the assassination attempt is going to go. With the Prince of Ireland. 8 assassins. Okay, we are assassinated in Domon. All right. At least we know that the Picts are up there. All right. First one succeeded. Beautiful. All right. So the order of execution upon the heir of your rival has been successfully carried out. Continuing such action will no doubt obliterate the faction in its entirety. Awesome. Princess becomes spinster. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 6 or so. Yikes. Murderous temper and truly pious. Okay. Murderous temper's good, and truly pious makes up for it, so that's nice. Lord Cuthbert, secret perversion. All right, we're starting to get that a lot. Okay, so you've got 3 shields of loyalty. I think what we want to do here, and I forgot to do this, is start building this up to get ships out of here. To sort of allow people to leave, because otherwise it feels a bit risky. I'm going to leave the longboat here because the Irish Sea is more important as a sea region to me, and we'll get a boat up there around Domon. And here, you know, I could get a spy up in the Orcades if I wanted to, just to keep an eye on it. Let's go over to Jutland. See what they have. We're up to 30%. Okay, and we'll have another boat in 2 years. All right, and we already invested in the Royal Hall. That's great. There's really not too much we can do with him, though, other than, like, increase the influence of our king, of course. And yeah, the Mercians are definitely moving their troops south. Look how just empty they've left their capital region. I'm sure this will change. They will shift stuff around again. All right, we've got 2 Northumbrian bishops in Wessex. Maybe you were going for Middle Anglia. And we do have a lot more bishops as well, so I'm going to move you down to Dorset. I'm going to move you, let's see, Domon now is no longer safe for bishops. I'm going to move you over to Kent, and I'm going to move you down to, I think, what is it, Sussex, yeah. That way we'll have total visibility, and in a little while we'll have the ability to train ships out of Deira. Now we do have some assassins here already, so, you know, I don't know. I think it might make sense to move these guys out. Like move them back to Deira, just keep them relatively safe. Let's move you up here. We've got a 2-star spy. Yeah, let's move you to Deira and move you to Reget, because you're going to start taking over from this guy for catching enemy agents. So I think the way it works is the counter spy with the highest valor is the one who's going to get the kill. And so that means we could eventually passively get this guy to 4 stars. So try to get them out of there. Hopefully they made it. And hopefully he dies next turn, right? And we inherit a bunch of land. Wouldn't that be awesome? All right. That's building. It's building. And you are going to retrain Feared. Okay, I don't think we want to do anything in Bernicia right now. Lothian we've just left completely unbuilt up. I think that's good for the mercenary availability, though. So we don't want to build up the buildings because the mercenaries will go away. Let's go for an armorer. Actually, no. In Fib, we were going to go with a ship, right? Yeah, I think we'll get a port. And we're finally going to put you under Lord Alfred's careful eye. And let's queue up all the other bishops. Otherwise, Dalriada, I think I'm going to let languish. And Kyle. Yeah, okay, we've got the option to train spies here now. So let's go for a stew. We're going to make Deira the assassin province and Kyle the spy province, I think. Okay, what was that? That was an attack. We're at war. Okay, it's happening. Elfold the First, great builder. Oh, that's really good. +1 loyalty. And he's young, so that's going to be around for a while. Very good. Okay, so he should be at 4 stars. Yes, 4 shields. Yes, yes, yes. Great. Okay, and then when this gets built, we may have another nice title we can give to him or somebody else. All right, now we've got war, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, baby, this is now... Damn, we should have gotten the alliance. I was trying to get a princess, though, right? So now we are in the very difficult situation. And the problem is this. The Mercians have for a while had the best military, the best finances, the most advanced. The Saxons, however, are in possession of all of this. Everything from Middlesex south, except for Cornwall. And they've got a lot of good troops, right? So, I mean, not these, but here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Huscarl units. And Somerset, I don't know what they have, but they've also got 4, or really 3. This guy's only got 1 man. And then they've probably got more than that. For the Mercians, they've got kind of similar, probably more numbers, but slightly more unelite units, right? Now, we could wait and see how this war develops, but there is a massive risk there. And the risk is, if we let the Saxons win and do nothing, then we will be facing the Saxons, who now own all of Mercia, right? Well, we own what we have, and we've got enough to basically have a stack down here that's got a couple of Huscarls, and I think I'm pretty cool for having that much. And that's simply not sufficient. That's the way you die as Northumbria. So, I think what we want to do is now rein in our ambitions in the north. We were thinking about getting the Orcades, and maybe we will, but absolutely our first priority now has to be this war. And so the question is, do we betray our Mercian allies? If we betray our Mercians, we lose influence. And our king, as you've seen, has 3 influence. This is not good. We betray our allies, we lose 1 more crown. That means the loyalty of all of our generals is almost certain to suffer. I think what we might be able to try is to, I don't know where the Saxon king is, but if we can ally with him really quickly, then we might be able to switch our allegiance, right? We would still get the option to choose. So in other words, typically when your 2 allies go to war, you get a little message screen that says your 2 allies are out of war. You pick one, and you will not lose any honor as a result of having to drop an alliance in this case. So I think that's what we want to do. We want to try to get an alliance with the Saxon king. And I just don't know where he is. He could be in East Anglia now. I kind of don't think he is. Let's move down to Dorset, actually, where my bishops... A lot of my bishops are coming down here next turn anyway. So I think I'll leave you in Wessex, and you can go over to East Anglia. And you'll stay right here, because the Mercians next turn could counterattack and take this back, but may still lose. So we want to see. I think in either case, we want to be able to intervene. And the problem is right now we can't. Even if we wanted to, we are very close to being able to send a naval invasion down here, but the problem is we've got a Saxon ship. So we could declare war on the Saxons right now by sending our stupid boat against their stupid boat. That's going to have, if we manage to win, which we would have to be the attacker, then what we could do is attack, Devon or Somerset and grab a little bit of land that way. That might be kind of cool, but I don't know that that's going to make much of a difference. I think the better thing, the more reasonable thing to do is to grab like some of these regions, right? and maybe do a little bit of rate. I don't know. We'll see. I think, though, this is a good place to leave the episode because we need to strategize a little bit. We need to think about where we're going to go. If we're going to have to betray our ally in a couple of turns, I think probably the thing to do now is like start training troops like it's go time. Because it really is. So when we come back, we will have a little less funds. We will have some diplomatic choices to make, and we'll see how it goes. I hope you join me then. Until then, take care.